السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ما بعد. Welcome you all to the class of Hidayatun Nahw. And last class we did 16th lesson, and today we are going to start the 17th lesson at the 17th lesson. And there are totally 54 lessons, 54, 56 lessons, 50 plus lessons, inshallah. القسم التاسع خبر كان وأخواتها. So we are talking about Mansoobaat. Mansoobaat, and last time we talked about Mustathna around a month ago. القسم التاسع خبر كان وأخواتها. The khabar of Kana and its akhawati and its sisters. So Kana has many sisters, I think 17 of them, and it makes the khabar mansub. So Kana Allahu ghafura. So he'll explain about Kana and its sisters. وحكمه كحكم خبر المبتدا. The ruling is the same as the خبر of مبتدا. نحو كان سعيد منطلقا. So كان, there'll be two words coming after كان. One is an ism and the second one is the خبر. نعم. كان سعيد منطلقا. سعيد was, انطلق is to go or set free. Right? سعيد was set free. إلا أنه يجوز تقديمه على اسمها. But it's allowed for, you can bring the khabar, the second word, you can bring it first. مع كونه معرفة بخلاف خبر المبتدا, to advance with it being definite. So can you make any khabar of kana forward? No, only it should be ma'rifa, he says. مع كونه معرفة, that means it should be ma'rifa. Only if it is definite, then only you can bring forward. بخلاف خبر المبتدا, but for khabar of mubtada, generally you should not bring the khabar front. No, mubtada should come first, the subject, and then the predicate. Generally speaking, there are exceptions to that anyways. وكان حقا علينا نصر المؤمنين. نعم. وكان حقا, and helping the believers was a right to us, is ever incumbent on us. Nasrul Mu'minin. So where is the ismu kana here? Nasrul Mu'minin. Naam. So the ism should be ma'rifa. Ala ismiha ma'a kawnihi ma'rifatan. So this ma'a kawnihi, with it being definite, is referring to the ism, the first word. So في غير القرآن, the normal sentence should have been وَكَانَ نَصْرُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ حَقًّا عَلَيْنَا. وَكَانَ, ismu kana is what? Nasru, and then mudaf, and al-mu'minina is mudaf ilayhi. حَقًّا عَلَيْنَا is a right upon us. It should be what? It should be the ism, and haqqan should be the khabar. Haqqan, and alayna is jar majrur. But we can bring it first because ism is ma'arifa here. So here, what should be ma'arifa? The ism, from what I understand, no? Al-qism al-ashir, ismu inna wa akhawatiha, and that's a 10th type. So he just gave a small ruling of this. Khabaru kana wa akhawatiha should be mansub. Maybe he went into other places where he'll talk about in detail in verbs, I believe. Inna wa akhwatiha, inna and its sisters. Then the 10th section, so 10th Mansoobaat is inna wa akhwatiha. وهو المسند بعد دخولها, and it is the musnad. If you remember, there is something called musnad ilayhi, which is the mubtada, and musnad. It is musnad. Musnad in the sense it comes to describe something else. Like mubtada, Hamid is sitting. So Hamid is called musnad ilayhi. You are ascribing the act of sitting to him. So that's called musnad ilayhi. And the khabar is called musnad. This is, inshallah, when you do balagha, those balagha and other books, you'll have more idea about it. But remember, mubtada is musnad ilayhi and khabar is musnad. And fa'il is the musnad and fa'il is the musnad ilayhi. Like if you say, dhahaba Hamidun, Hamid went. So what is being ascribed to whom? So Hamid is called musnad ilayhi and dhahaba is called musnad. So it is musnad after it enters. Inna Zaydan jalisun. So this inna, you're ascribing something to it. You're not talking about it, you're talking through it. Okay. And the noun is ascribed to the particle. This Zaydan, you're ascribing to the particle after it's being entered upon the noun. Inna Zaydan, indeed Zayd. For example, Inna Zaydan jalisun. So it just said it's musnad. Okay. Inna Zaidan Jali. Indeed, Zaid is sitting. القسم الحادي عشر, the 11th type is المنصوب بالله التي لنفي الجنس. So he's quickly telling you what are the mansubat. The 11th section is لا نافية, law of class negation. وهو المسند إليه بعد دخولها, and it is musnad إليه now. So we have to go a little detail, like why is he telling it's musnad, why it's not, right? But he says it is musnad إليه بعد دخولها. That means we need something to talk about it, like لا إله لا رجل. Right? We need, it is called musnad ilayhi. But here in Zaidan jalisun, maybe this whole sentence he is referring to, uh, Zaid is sitting, it is talking about something specific. But you say one word after la, he says musnad ilayhi. Okay. وتليها نكرة مضافة, and a nakira comes which is mudaf. نحو لا غلام, it should be mudaf. لا غلام رجل في الدار. أو مشابه بالمضاف, or a mushabih which is similar to mudaf, right? So there's something called mushabih bil mudaf. La 20 dirham, you bring a tamiz after it, you bring a noun, explain la, oh, no 20 dirhams in the bag. La ghulama rajulin fi dar, there's not a servant of any man in the house. So this is called la li nafil jins. Law of class negation, it negates everything. If you say la rajulun fil bab, there's no man in the house, you could contradict that and say bal rajulan, rather two men are there. But if you say la rajula fil bab, if there's no man at all, it's like complete. You cannot contradict it later on. Nam la ghulama rajulin. I mean, the category of rajul, even if you think about it, la rajula, nothing can come under it. La 20 dirhaman fil kisi. There are no 20 dirhams in the bag. وإن كان, so there are some conditions. وإن كان ما بعد لا نكرة مفردة. If it is nakira mufrada, if a single noun is come nakira, right? يبنى على الفتح, you will give it fatha, مبني عن fatha. For example, لا رجل في الدار. You cannot say رجل, رجل, رجلا. No, مبني على الفتح, it will become fixed on a fatha. وإن كان مفردا معرفة أو نكرة. So first condition is it should be, if it is singular and nakira, make it mabni. But if it is singular and then it is ma'rifa, it's not nakira, it's ma'rifa. أو نكرة مفصولا بينه وبين لا كان مرفوعا لأنها تلغى عن العبد. But if it is ma'rifa, like you say لا الرجل, لا الرجل, you cannot do this like that. You have to make it normal because the action is gone. تلغى عن العمل, that means its action is nullified. ويجب حينئذ تكرير لا. So you have to repeat the la again. So many conditions again. مع الاسم الآخر آخر أنا with another noun. For example, لا حميد في الدار ولا مجيد. There's not a Hamid in the house. Not so. If somebody came and asked you, is there Hamid in the house? So you want to play a joke or you're sarcastic. There's no Hamid. There's no Majid. There's no one at the house at all. So what happened here? Why did we not say Hamida? And this la is class negation, because this is ma'rifa. For ma'rifa, it doesn't do any amal, any action. La hamidun fi dari wala majidun. Or you want to separate la fiha rajulun wala mra'atun. There's no man nor a woman. Neither there's a man or a woman. So here, why did you not say rajula? Because it came far away. You have separated between them. So when it separates, it doesn't. It's very weak. So it doesn't do action from far away. It is, close quarters combat. It cannot do far. Inna is like far. Also, it can combat. It has inna, wherever it is, it'll make it mansub. Even if it comes after 2-3 words. Inna and his sisters. But these guys are close combat. Only if it's close, the word should be after that only. Then only it will do amal. And you have to repeat the la also, he says. There's a rule. So if you want to say, if the amal is gone, you have to repeat the la. Fail madi also, you have to repeat the la. Fala saddaqa wala salla. Because with madi, general rule is you have to bring a ma to negate it. Ma dhahabtu ila al-bayti. But if I bring la, so I have to repeat it. It will become in the meaning of neither or nor. La dhahabtu wala kharajtu. I did not go, nor did I leave. Like that. Okay, so this is all about la. And another point about la is وَذَا تَكَرَّرَتْ لَا عَلَى سَبِيلِ الْعَطْفِ. When la is repeated in the manner of atf. So you want to bring in wow and something. وَجَاءَ بَعْدَهَا نَكِرَةٌ مُفْرَدَةٌ بِلَا فَصْلٍ. And a nakira has come which is singular without any gap. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. See, la hawla, fine. Wala quwwata, right? Illa billah. There's no movement. How hala yahulu hawl, movement, no any strength or might except in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yajuzu fihima khamsatu out. There are five ways of saying like this. There's five ways of saying. Fathuhuma, first is give both fatha. Okay. La hawla wa la quwwata. Wa raf'uhuma. The second way is La hawlun wa la quwwatun. This is the second way. Or you can give the fatha to the first one and nasbu thani. Second mansoob you can make it. So La hawla wa la quwwatan. Wa fathul awwal La hawla raf'u thani wa la quwwatun. You can just play around, he says, but all are allowed. ورفع الأول لا حول ولا قوة. All this is there, and we have a footnote number 50 for this. Let's go down. So 5 perspectives are in the footnote. Fatha for both of them on the negation of collective noun with la and nafia. So why he's giving a reasons also. La hawla wa la quwwata, both are la and li nafil jins, so you'll do normal la. As singular nouns, the endings are both fixed with fatha. La hawla wa la quwwata. Then nominative for both based on negation resembling laisa. It's not class negation. This la is like a normal la. Normal la. So what you'll say laisa. However, its khabar is mawjood and an accusative verb is elided. It's assumed. Because for laisa or ma hijaziya, if you say ma hadha bashara, there should be an ism and a khabar. Like 2 words should come after that. Similarly, la hawlun mawjoodan, like kana, no? Because there is no strength existing. وَلَا قُوَّةٌ مَوْجُودًا إِلَّا بِاللَّهِ. So you can do this way. Mawjood is omitted. So لَا حَوْلٌ وَلَا قُوَّةٌ إِلَّا بِاللَّهِ. The third way is fatha for based on, so fatha, this is normal. La linafil jins, class negative, la hawla. There is no strength existing. And the accusative or movement, the accusative for the second is due to making apposition to the collective noun by means of particle wa. Apposition in the sense he means, it is mansoob. It should have been mansoob, no? So since the collective noun hawla stands in the place of accusative word, it is mabni on a fatha, but it stands fi mahalli nasb. It should have actually been la hawlan. But because it doesn't do action like that, amal like that, so it was la hawla. So, but it's in the place of mansoob. So when you bring a wow something, you will copy it. So quwwatan becomes also becomes like that. Fatha for the first one, fourth way is fatha for the first one, and la hawla, and second one use it like a this thing, like in this one mawjoodan thing. So la hawla wa la quwwatun mawjoodan illa billah. Now just mixture of all these things. Fifth one nominating for the first, so it's a la hawlun mawjoodan. And the fatha wala quwwata. So this la, ultimately, this is the opposite of 4. Opposite of 4. Ultimately, what happens is, it's just playing around with these things. What should it be? Now, what should it be? La hawla wala quwwata. See, but notice here, la is repeated here. La is repeated here. Even though it's doing the action, you're bringing wow in between. Wow in between. It's not compulsory to repeat, but you're saying 2 things, so that's why wow has come. But here it was compulsory to repeat it. If you bring a ma'rifa after la, or you separate the la with other words, you have to repeat it. وَقَدْ يُحْذَفُ اسْمُ لَا لِقَرِينَةٍ. You can delete the la for a reason, for a context. For example, la alayk. Ay la basa alayk. La alayk, you can just say la alayk, no problem on you. There's no problem for you. La basa alayk. So basa is understood. So while speaking, we'll just say la alayk, la alayk. And that is la basa alayk. Then the 12th form is al-qism thani ashar khabaru ma wa la mushabbahataini bilaysa. So till now, We are talking about Mansoobaat. We saw Khabar Kana short, Ismu Inna, and the sisters, Khabar Kana and sisters. And then La li Nafil Jins. La, 11th one was. So we started with 9, 10, 11, and now we have 12. 12. The Khabar of Ma and La, which are similar to Laisa. So Laisa is a sister of Kana. And it's the second word after Laisa, Lastu Mudarrisan. I'm not a teacher. The second word after that should be Mansoob. وهو المسند بعد, and this is also Musnad, he says. So it, you speak through it. You give a news through it, not for it. ما سعيد جالسا, like ليس سعيد جالسا ما سعيد جالسا, or لا رجل حاضرا. So la is very rare. La mushabbiha bilaysa is very rare. Ma is fine. Ma is the Hijazi people, they used to use a lot. Instead of using laisa all the time, they used to say ma hada bashara. I mean, the Quran, it's very common. The khabar is described to them after the entrance. Ma sa'idun jalisan, ma sa'id jalisan. Sa'id is not sitting. La rajula hadiran, hadir. There's no man present. So now this is a problem. There should be rajulun. It's a mistake. Because we are not talking about la li nafil jins, we are talking about la of mushabbihatayn bilaysa, mushabbahatun bilaysa. He gives some rules for these guys. وَتُلْغِيَانِ عَلَمْ فِي الْمَوَادِ التَّالِيَةِ. So they will not do any action here in the following places. So exceptions. إذا تلغيان يعني mulghat will not do any action, cancelled, nullified. إذا وقع الخبر بعد إلا, if it comes after إلا, ما زيد إلا قائم. So this ma, you'll not do it here. إلا قائم, because Illa's rules will also apply. Last time we talked about Mustathna, no? All its stories. So it won't be applied if Illa comes, he says, okay, fine. إذا تقدم الخبر, if the khabar is preceded. So ما هذا بشرا. So if you say ما بشر هذا, you cannot say ما بشرا هذا. في غير القرآن. So ما قائم زيد, this is not allowed. So in Laysa you could do that. But ma is so weak because already copying Laysa. So you won't do that. If the order is changed, you'll keep it without any amal. You'll not say ma qa'iman zaydun, because people won't understand what is this ma you're talking about, because there are more than 10 types of ma, right? So already it's like copying Laysa. So why would you change the order? So you have to say ma zaydun qa'iman. إذا زيدت in بعد ما. If you add an in after this ma in khalidun. هذه اللغة الحجازيين. They'll add an in, and I don't think we'll translate this in, just for emphasis. وَدَلِيلُهُمْ قَوْلُهُ, and the evidence is مَا هَذَا بَشَرًا. So Hijazi people, they love this ma. Instead of laysa all the time, they used to use مَا هَذَا بَشَرًا. So هَذا is ismu inna, not inna, sorry. Ismu ma, and basharan is khabar ma hijaziya. That's why it's called ma hijaziya, no? Hijaz, Makkah, Medina and all that is called Hijaz. وَأَمَّا بَنُو تَمِيمٍ. Banu Tamim, these guys, they did not do this ma. They were like, what? We don't make it like that. فَلَا يُعْمِلُونَهَا أَصْلًا. They will not give amal to it, right? Banu Tamim, these guys, they say no. They will say, and they give a share for as evidence. What this? وَمُحَفْحَفٍ كَالْبَدْرِ قُلْ لَهُ انْتَسِبْ فَأَجَابَ مَا قَتْلُ الْمُحِبِّ عَلَى الْمُحِبِّ حَرَامُ. So this muhafhaf, the slender moon. Muhafhaf is like a slender moon, is like the full moon. Kalbadri. So he's speaking about a man, I guess. Kullahu, I said to him. It should be say to him. Kullahu is say to him. Intasib. So you look so handsome, man. You're so nice. Tell me your nasab. Tell me from which family you are. So he replies, affiliate with one another. That means he replies, فَأَجَابَ. But he's a killer. This guy is like some killer. So فَأَجَابَ, he replied, مَا قَتْلُ الْمُحِبِّ. The killing of a beloved person. Muhib is lover or someone. Alal muhibbi is not forbidden upon the lover. Haram. So if a lover finds his girl or his woman going with another woman, he can easily kill her. It's not haram, because how can she cheat or something? So the point is, Shahid fi, the evidence here is Ma qatlul muhibbi. This is the ism of Ma. على المحب is just jar majrur. Haramu, it should have been haraman in Hijazi language. So, but he says haramu. So you can kill your nam because it was gangster type. ما قتل المحب على المحب حرام. Hmm? So instead of saying, okay, which family you are and all that, he just quoted that, I am from Banu Tamim. Now, how do you know he's from Banu Tamim? Well, he said haramu. Oh, so a person who's listening to this gets to know, oh, this guy doesn't do the amal of ma. That means he's from Banu Tamim. So instead of saying, Ana min Bani Tamim, I'm from Bani Tamim, he used this statement. I don't know if he actually means it or not, but this shows that I am from Banu Tamim. I'm from a respected tribe, man. Al Khulasa. So ultimately, Banu Tamim does not do that. They do not believe in the ma. They don't do any amal, so they keep it like this. Haramun al khulasa wa baqiyatul mansubati here. And the remaining mansubat. So this is like the ending of mansubat. So how many did he give till now? 13, no? 12 he gave. So there's 11 or 12 or 13. Because it depends on what you include and what you don't. Because some people mind la, they make it two separate. وبقية المنسوبات هي lesson number 9 is خبر كان وأخواتها وحكمه كحكم خبر المبتدأ إلا أنه يجوز. خبر كان خلاصة, and its ruling is the rule which should follow is like same like مبتدأ, except that you can in خبر كان you can precede it. يجوز تقديمه على اسمها مع كونه معرفة. The ism of kana should be معرفة, he says. بخلاف خبر المبتدأ, مبتدأ you're not allowed, generally you're not allowed to precede it. Then ismu inna wa akhwatiha, ismu inna is also mansub, and the sisters, ismu inna sisters are how many? 5. Kanna lakinna la'alla layta. Anna inna lakinna la'alla layta. All these they will make it mansub. وهو المسند بعد دخولها, it's musnad after its entry. نحو إن زيدا جالس, so indeed Zaid is sitting. So Zaidan is mansub. Mansubat. لا التي لنفي الجنس, لا for class negation. وهو المسند إليه بعد دخولها, it is musnad إليه, he says. And وتليها نكرة مضافة, so if it is نكرة مضافة أو مشابه بالمضافة, something which is similar to مضاف, that means a noun after it تمييز should come, something like describe. لا 20 درهما في الكيس. No 20 dirhams are there in the keys, in the bag. خبر ما لا مشبهتين بليس وهو المسند بعد الدخول, it is musnad, he says. وتلغى عن العمل, but they won't do the action if you play around or you want to change something here and there. You will not do. وإذا وقع الخبر بعد إلا, after إلا you cannot, no عمل. إذا تقدم الخبر, the خبر comes before it, you can't do it. إذا زيدت إن بعد ما, if you add an in. وهذه لغة الحجازيين, this is the لغة of حجازيين. وأما بنو تميم فلا يعملونها أصلا. As for Banu Tamim, they will not do any action at all. Questions you can answer on your own. ما حكمه, just copy from my above. ما هو حكم خبر كان مثل ذلك, so it is like he gave it here, no? This is the same thing. حكمه كحكم خبر المبتدا إلا أنه يجوز تقديمه على اسمها مع كونه معرفة بخلاف خبر المبتدا. وما هو عمل إن وأخواتها, ائت بمثال على ذلك. Give an example إن وهو المسند بعد دخولها, and give an example إن زيدا قائم. ما هو الفرق بين اللا النافية للجنس ولا المشبهتين بليس. So you can describe both of them and give examples. اذكر الأوجه التي تجوز في مثل لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. What are the 5 forms, 5 types of doing it? لا حول ولا قوة, لا حول ولا قوة, and then what else? لا حول موجودا ولا قوة موجودا, just opposites and all that. ما هو دليل أهل الحجاز في أعمالي, what is the دليل of أهل الحجاز, ما هذا بشرا is the دليل. And تميميين, what is the evidence, you can give the quote. والمحفف كالبدر, قل له انتسب, if you say to the slender moon who's like the full moon, محفف انتسب. فأجاب ما قتل المحب على المحب حرام. تميم متى يلغى عمل ما ولا مشبهتين بليس, when it will be not done. 3 conditions, if it comes after illa, if you play around that the khabar comes before it, or if you add in after it. تمارين. استخرج الأسماء المنصوبة من الجمل التالية وعين نوعه وعمله. Extract the أسماء المنصوبة from the sentences and tell its type. لا إيمان لمن لا أمانة له. No iman for who does not have an amana, trustworthiness. So iman la li nafil jins. So why is it mabni? Because a singular word came after that, no? So it'll be mabni al fath, mabni on a fatha. La amanata, mabni al fath. La nafil jins, I think, yeah. Wala deena liman la ahdala. And no religion for the one who does not have any promise, who does not stick to his promises. La dina ada, la li nafil jins. La tifla na'imun. There's no child who's sleeping. So la li nafil jins. Ka'anna al-la'iba asadun. Looks like the player, like a lion. So from football player or someone. So Kanna is ismu inna min akhwati inna, no, sisters of inna. So this is ismu Kanna and Asadun is the khabar. So that's why it's mansub. Inna al wada'a jayyidun. Indeed, the placement is good. Something placed is good. So wada'a is ismu inna. Kanna al hirra namirun. As if the cat, hirra is a kitten or a cat. It looks like a tiger. كأن الهرة ما زال الأستاذ منتظرا الجواب. And the Ustad is still waiting. Zala Yazalu is also Mazala, is a sister of Kana. Kana has many sisters. Ma'am, he did not go into details here. Maybe he'll go, I think he'll go it in, and when it talks about verbs. But Ustad is still waiting for the jawab. So Muntadiran is the Khabaru Mazala. So this is Ismu Mazala, and Muntadiran is the Khabar of Mazala. This is the Mafulun Bihi of Muntadiran. The object of this muntadir, because ismul fa'il can also take in jawab, no? Mafulun bihi. La'alla as-sa'ata qaribun. La'alla ismu la'alla is mansubun. Udkhul ma yunasib inna wa akhwati. You have to enter inna wa akhwatiha, wa kana wa akhwatiha, wa ma wa la mushabbatain bi laysa, wa ma wa la which resemble laysa, ala al-jumal at-ta'ilati, on the following sentences, wa shakkilha, and give tashkil, fatha dama kasra. Al-waladu yal'abu fil bayt. So we can say innal walada yalabu fil bayt. Indeed, the boy is playing in the house. Fiddari rajulun. Inna fiddari rajulan. I can add anything else. Or I can add mazala also. Mazala al waladu yalabu fil bayt. The boy is still playing in the house. Inna fiddari rajulan. Or ma fiddari rajulun. See, I added inna, I made it mansub, but I added ma. I have to say ma fiddari rajulun. It will not do the amal. It's weak. At-talibu najihun. Inna at-taliba najihun. You can add anything. Ka'anna, not ka. Muhsinun rajihun. Muhsin is correct. Rajih is more correct. Ka'anna muhsinan rajihun. It looks like Muhsin is correct. Fil bayti bulbul. What can you add? Kana fil bayti bulbulan. There was, oh, we cannot do that here. Because bulbul is the ism of kana. We need khabar. Inna fil bayti bulbulan. Hada alimun. Kanna hada aliman. No. Kan hada alimun. He looks like a, this one looks like a scholar. Al-ustadhu waqifun. Inna al-ustadha waqifun. ضع اسما منصوبا مناسبا في المكان الخالي. You have to put an اسم منصوب in the filling space. مما يلي من الجمل. إن يلعب في الحديقة. إن يلعب. إن الطفل يلعب في الحديقة. Indeed, the child is playing in the garden. كان الطالب. The student was. كان الطالب جالسا. The student was sitting. You can fill anything. لعل الضيف قادم. Perhaps the guest is coming. Ma badihatullahu. Badiha is also similar to continue. Ma badihatullah talibu na'iman. The students still remain to be asleep. Ma hadha bashara. We can say this is not bashar. This is for Yusuf al-Islam. They said no. Ma hadha bashara. The women, all the women around. La rajulun. La rajulun. Oh, now. Why did it not make it mansub? It should be la rajula fil bayti. Just make it fatha. Mabni ala fatha. Give the i'rab. La khayra fil qawli bil jahl. La. There's no good in saying things with it, with ignorance. So la khayra. This is ismul la nafiyat lil jins. Mabni ala al fath. Naam. And you can do jar majhur, and bil jahl is also jar majhur. Or khabar. Fil qawli is the khabar of la li nafil jins, because two words should come after la. And this bil jahl is muta'alliq to fil qawl. كن سمحا ولا تكن مبذرا. Be kind سمحا ولا تكن مبذر. And don't be بذر يبذر تبذيرا. Don't be strict. So سموحا يسمح is to be generous also. So كن سمحا, be generous and do not be. ولا تكن مبذر. تبذير is extravagant. Do not be مبذر. إن الصلاة منصوب. So كن سمحا is the khabar of kun, and مبذرا is the khabar of takun. إن الصلاة indeed. So إن الصلاة, this is اسمه إن, تنهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر, stops from morality, immoral, immorality, and munkar is evil things. La talibun hadiran, there's no student present, so la mushabbahatun bi laysa, la is which is resembling laysa, and hadiran is khabar, la mushabbaha bi laysa. This is very rare, huh? La ma ana asiyan amar Allah, I'm not a disobeyer of the command of Allah. So asiyan is the khabar. Khabar of ma hijaziya. You can call this ma hijaziya. Ma hadha bashara. Same thing, ma ana asiyan. Amr Allah is the mafulun bihi of asiyan. And with this, we are done with our 17th lesson. Alhamdulillah. Now he'll bring majurat. Majurat, there are only two majurats. So the third maqsadu thalith. So we started with marfu'at, and then and then he went into Mansoobaat. As usual, every book does that mostly when they talk about Nahw books. And then we talked about Marfu'at, Majura. Then we'll talk about Majurat. Naam. Inshallah ta'ala. Jazakallahu Khair and Barakallahu Feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.